Hello YouTube, I'm taking a break from Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to bring you this video before you pull on Terra's FR. I have been in the void playing that game. I am hooked. I haven't even done the recent JP fight. Man, I'm a mess. But let's get this one out there. Last minute, Ursula just didn't materialize. But anyways, before you pull on Terra's FR banner, and please, disclaimer, if you have the intelligence of the guy who called me biased for pointing out Leo's strengths and saying you didn't need Tidus's FR to run Tidus Cam, if you're not smart enough to get that, you might not realize this either. But nothing on here is guaranteed. These are assumptions based on the JP banner. We don't know if it's going to be Terra, and we don't know if this banner will be the same, but I am reviewing it as such. I'll post an update if need be. But like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you don't miss a video. I haven't streamed it forever, but I swear I'll get back to it, I promise. Check out the Ranting Hour, my bi-weekly stream, and consider becoming a member for $1 review. I changed my recording setup a bit, so let's see how this goes. Let's see if I can one-take this, shall we? But moving on, Terra. Terra is a magic damage dealer, if you're not familiar with the kit. She goes AoE magic damage, and she has consecutive high turns along with high turn rate when she's not chaining her turns together. She's got minor debuffs, and she can brave gain through a lot of stuff. She's just a through and through turn hogger damage dealer. I'm just getting PTSD from seeing unironic magic Tidus. I know people are gonna comment ironic magic Tidus, and I hate you all for it, but like the unironic gets me. Anyways, her force condition is 20% on magic damage, on turn only, not off turn, and 30% when you use an instant turn rate skill. So this is basically Terra drives her own FR. Very straightforward. Team synergy, you don't want anybody else really driving Terra's FR. So you want background follow-ups, Kayn, Freya, Core, Young, Cisne, Garnet. Pretty straightforward. Terra is very one note. Now let's talk about her evaluation. Strengths-wise, she's got great turn control. Unlike Tidus, God, please, we need a Venn diagrams with these two characters again. Magic Tidus is so reductive, but I guess if you think like that, you're too far gone. Strong AoE. Terra's meltdown skill and her stuff has meltdown has a lot of splash. Her EX has less splash, but overall she's very good against AoE. She's not single target focused. She's self-sufficient because she can brave gain through a lot of it, and she can drive follow-ups pretty much with freedom. Like it's pretty brainless to play Terra. You just press LD and then refresh and spam and go into BT, all that good stuff. Weaknesses wise, she's pretty one note. Like if you're not turn hogging with Terra, what are you doing, bruh? I mean, you'll have to press the LD button eventually, right? So she's her single target damage isn't the greatest. I think she caps out at what, 4 HP attacks single target, so she's much better suited for two or three targets. And just the rank reductionism around her kit. Again, Matt, please. I've been seeing Magic Tidus for years. I'm just tired, y'all. I'm just tired. Oh, now we have Ace though. Ace is getting a C90. He received a minor rework. He got an extra HP attack on all of his skills, and the biggest part of his rework, and this is probably why Ace is currently going under the radar. His traps got brought up to parity with Scythe. So if you use Scythe a bit, you know that if you stack HP damage taken debuffs, because Scythe is what, 50% splash, that splash soon becomes functionally 100% AoE, and so Ace becomes functionally trap-wise the same as Scythe, which is very good because his rework allowed him to cap those hits AoE very easily. So if you're looking at Ace as just his skills, you have completely missed the point. But he has magic damage, he has off-turn trap magic damage, AoE damage. He has massive defense down provided you stack his traps correctly. Various buffs, including his BT. He can even heal the party if you get lucky enough, and party battery on his trap. So he's a good unit, I think. Strengths, off-turn damage. If you've been keeping an ear on JP and Ion, Pulse on, whatever, JP at all, you'll know that off-turn damage is thriving. And Ace is an excellent driver for any off-turn damage because he has a full AoE, like I mentioned, he has a full AoE trap in practice, especially under force time. And this ticking after every single thing that happens provides a lot more damage than you might think on paper. And anyone who used Ace when he first debuted with his BT Plus knows that he does a sneaky amount of damage, but it wasn't obvious. And I called it out then, and I call it out now. Ace is still very good. He's non-elemental. This is where he wins over Scythe, because Scythe is stuck to the dark element. Because Ace is non-elemental, any off-turn damage that require elements, perhaps, Ace can fill that even further, on top of having a BT, and the party battery to make sure everyone's batteried off after every trap to keep them self-sufficient. Weaknesses though, managing the traps between the 2 debuffs can provide a little tricky if you're not a person who likes to learn things. His skills are weak. Now, like I said, his off-turn damage does add up like crazy, but when you press his buttons, it does not feel good, because I think he caps out at what, 3 HP attacks per? So yeah, it doesn't feel great to praise his skills, and then his BT phase is weaker as a result, and you can't trigger the trap in the BT phase. So all that extra damage I'm talking about, you just won't see it in the BT phase, which is unfortunate. His BT phase was largely going to be to get his traps up. And lastly, we have Ramza. Ramza is melee damage, free turns out the ass, massive buffs, HP cap, HP damage. Y'all already know. You don't even need to know Ramza's numbers. You just need to know he makes everyone in the nuke. Like, you got a giant toolbox of stuff with attack, defense, speed down, launch, heals. This man is the all-rounder, the true squire. So strengths-wise, he can actually abuse his special HP attack for any force conditions. Strelada's an upcoming one of them. But any like Aerith or Yuna. Aerith, I'm thinking, because if you throw a Paladin Cecil RF on Ramza, he's got the C slots, we can battery the party while he does it. And so this ends up adding to those kinds of force times, so he's good there. Just the utility of the launch, the heals, the high turn rates, he just does so much. He can pretty much fit in any team. He can also just stand there with his BT effect. He's got minor charge, because when he does get force enhanced, his skill 2 is a dead skill, so he can charge there. And he's got insane buffs. Weaknesses, his damage when he's not doing a free turn, like during force time, it's not the greatest. It's what, 3 HP attacks on his HP plus with no splash. So while he can contribute to those, he's not gonna do a lot of damage. His free turns don't really matter in force time, and his high turn rate on his skill 2, skill 1, and brave plus might throw you off. So going back to it, before you pull on Terra, what's my advice? This is from largely just a meta perspective. Overall, I'd say Terra. I personally can't recommend anybody Terra, just because this is where some bias comes in, dickhead. Oh, by the way, just seeing if anybody's listening at this point. If you want to show you listen in the comments, put Terra is basically a DPS Lunafreya, because she can guarantee a lot of consecutive turns for herself. Because if we're going to be reductive and use Magic Titus, she's also a DPS Lunafreya, alright? Anyways, this banner, on principle, I kind of recommend everybody gem triple BT banners, even if you're missing one, just because the opportunity cost of getting multiple BTs and having BT tokens along the way is very good. And having an FR that ages well with echoes is also very powerful as well. So if you're interested in the turn hoggy playstyle, then this banner might be fine for you. If you don't have any of the BTs, I recommend gems. If you have all the BTs or aren't interested in any of them, if you're just interested in Terra's FR, she's all right. She's got competitive numbers on her own, but you need to make sure you have those follow-ups in the background to guarantee her damage stays competitive. Titus beats her out in single target. What else was I gonna say? Ace wise, I think Ace is still just criminally slept on. People see 1 HP attack on the trap and think it's not a lot of damage, but they forget how the trap works and that it goes off so frequently that it adds up to a lot of damage. And I'm not even sure that Ace necessarily needs his BT to be a great off-turn unit. I mean, throw ultimate weapon is tragic. That's a big L. But Ace can still contribute to those teams. So I'm personally going to be FE 30ing, Force Enhanced 30ing Ace eventually. Their off-turn runs aren't as strong yet, but with what's it called, Reno coming up, and then I think Ace could work well with Cloud of Darkness, and then we got Core 2 months from now. My brain is fried. Trust me, I've been playing too much Xenoblade. I think I'm like 50 hours in. But overall, let me bring it together. I don't think I'd recommend anyone chase Terra's FR. If you're like, I'm gonna get it with the Garnet Echo, no, y'all aren't. If you're skipping Terra to get her later on Garnet, you're not, because you're gonna see something 8 months down the line again and say I'm skipping for that. So that's not gonna happen. Plus, what, C100, it's gonna be, I'm gonna come back to this a year from now. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm skipping Terra now, even though I was gonna skip her before, because, you know, X and Y is around the corner. So if you don't have Ramza's BT at this point, while it's nice to have for boosting things, I'd argue it might be a little overkill, and you'd probably be better off investing in things that can drive your own FR. So overall, if I were to say get anything from this banner, I think Ace LD is a good pickup just for running off-turn teams. And if you have the gems to afford it, I say gem the entire banner and try and pick up all 3 BTs at once. Otherwise, I'd say skip. But that's all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video came out well. My brain is completely not in DFFOO mode right now. So I'm going back to Xenoblade. Hope y'all have a great existence. Keep up with Terra if you're doing it. It's fun content. And I'll catch you guys later, alright? Bye.